What if the moment you think you've won at a car dealership is actually the moment you've already lost? James spent months on this, not an impulse buyer. He pulled consumer reports, found the manufacturer invoice price, walked in with data, sticker price, $32,250. Invoice, $29,900. After an hour of back and forth, he got them to $29,950, just $50 above invoice. The salesman said, "We're basically losing money on this." James drove home feeling like he'd cracked the code. He hadn't. If you like uncovering the hidden side of money, subscribe now, because this story is just getting started. A week later, his neighbor Travis sees the car, loves it, goes to the same dealership that weekend for the same model. Travis walks out paying $32,350. That's $2,400 more than James for an identical car. Not luck, not timing. 5 words Travis said walking in. "I'm paying cash. Best price." The invisible machine. That $50 gross profit James negotiated, that's the only number you're allowed to see. It's the bait. Underneath it are more than a dozen profit layers invisible to the buyer, built into every sale. First, holdback. After the sale closes, the manufacturer sends 2 to 3% of sticker price back to the dealership. On James's car, that's $645 to $967. The dealership just made 12 to 19 times what James thought he negotiated them down to. Then, dealer cash incentive, paid quietly when a manufacturer overproduced a model and needs it pushed. Volume bonuses, also called stair-step bonuses, where hitting a monthly unit threshold triggers payouts worth tens of thousands across the whole lot, which is why salespeople get flexible at month-end. Regional rebates for slow-selling areas. Floor plan assistance, where the manufacturer covers part of the interest the dealership pays to finance its own inventory. Here's a layer most people never hear about: the pack. Before a salesperson's commission is even calculated, many dealerships subtract a flat pack fee, often $200 to $800 per vehicle, off the top of gross profit. It's baked in before negotiation even starts, which means even a salesperson can lose money on paper on a deal that's still profitable for the store. A newer wrinkle. In 2024, the FTC finalized its CARS rule, banning hidden junk fees and requiring dealers to disclose the real selling price up front. Industry groups sued, and as of 2026, the rule remains stayed in court, meaning none of these protections are actually in effect. The loopholes James walked into are still wide open. Even if you calculated every hidden layer above and negotiated against it, you'd still be missing where the real money is made. The dealership has a system. Now you get yours. The most profitable room. James thinks negotiation is over. Handshake done. Now he's walked to a back office for paperwork. This is the most profitable room in the building, and almost every buyer walks in with their guard down. The person behind the desk is the finance manager, not a clerk. The highest-earning salesperson in the building. There's a reason they're in that office and not on the floor. Public dealership groups like Lithia Motors, AutoNation, and Penske file detailed financial statements. Industry-wide, average front-end gross profit on a new car keeps shrinking because sites like TrueCar and Edmunds made invoice pricing public. That's why the finance office matters more, not less. NADA data shows F&I now generates close to half a dealership's per-vehicle profit, often another $2,000 to $2,900 on top of whatever was made selling the car itself. Where that comes from: loan reserve. The dealership marks up your approved interest rate. Lender approves at 4%. You get charged 5%. That extra point is pure profit, $600 to $800 per car. Worth knowing. Since 2011, some regulators and lenders have capped how much dealers can mark up rates on certain loan types, but the cap still leaves plenty of room, and it doesn't apply everywhere. Extended warranty with a profit margin of $700 to $1,000. Gap insurance. Useful if you're financing and the car gets totaled, but still carries $250 to $400 in margin. Protection add-ons like wheel protection, paint sealant, fabric coating, each $50 to $300, but stacking fast. Documentation fees, registration markups, and notary charges add another $700 to $800, and these vary wildly by state. Some cap doc fees by law, others don't cap them at all. One more thing buyers rarely catch: the 4-square worksheet. It's the sheet with 4 boxes: trade-in value, down payment, monthly payment, and price, that finance managers use to shift your attention to the number that's easiest to manipulate, the monthly payment, while the total price and interest rate quietly move. Negotiate the price and rate first, before that sheet ever comes out. Total from the finance office: often $2,700 to $2,900 per car. So James negotiated to $50 above invoice, felt great, and still handed back $600 to $960 in holdback, more in front-end incentives, and thousands in the finance office. If this is changing how you think about buying a car, hit subscribe. The Cash Buyer Trap. Back to Travis. Same dealership, same car, same month. He walked in and said, "I'm paying cash. Best price." He thought that was leverage. Here's what the dealership heard: "I'm about to eliminate $2,000 plus of finance office profit. No loan reserve, no interest markup, no gap insurance, no warranty upsell." So they made it up on the sticker price. Travis paid $2,400 more for the identical car. We're trained to think cash is king. In most transactions, it is. But at a dealership, financing is the product. The loan isn't a cost to them, it's a profit center. Removing it doesn't simplify the deal. It removes their best revenue stream. The tests. Some buyers think, "I'll just not mention cash." Good instinct. But dealerships have built-in tests. The clipboard, where an early form asks cash or finance, feels routine, isn't. The credit check, framed as verifying you qualify, is really confirming you still intend to finance. And often your loan application gets filled out before you even reach the finance office. By then, you've confirmed intent to finance 2 or 3 times without noticing. One more test worth flagging: the CPO upsell. If you're buying certified pre-owned, some finance managers will bundle an extended CPO inspection fee or extend the manufacturer's certified warranty into a paid add-on, even though the base CPO inspection and warranty are already included in the price you negotiated. Ask exactly what's already covered before adding anything. If you're learning something useful, subscribe. The strategy: walk in as a financing buyer. Never mention cash. That classifies you as high profit and gets you the better price. At the clipboard stage, ask what the loan origination fee is. This confirms there's no upfront cost you'd lose by paying it off early without revealing your plan. Negotiate the purchase price hard. They'll be more flexible, expecting to recoup margin later. In the finance office, negotiate everything. Warranty margin of $700 to $1,000 is negotiable. Gap insurance margin of $250 to $400 is negotiable. Watch the 4-square sheet and keep the conversation on price and rate, not monthly payment. Before signing, read the loan contract line by line and confirm there's no prepayment penalty. Sign the loan, then pay it off within days or weeks. You get the financing buyer price, avoid the cash buyer penalty, and pay little to no real interest. The whole strategy rests on 2 facts holding true: no origination fee, no prepayment penalty. If either exists, run the numbers. In most cases, the savings still win. One more wrinkle: since the CARS rule is stalled in court, dealers face no federal requirement to show the real total price up front, so treat any initial quote as a floor, not a final number. Closing. The sales floor feels like the battlefield. The tense back and forth, the "let me talk to my manager," but the real money changes hands in the finance office, where most buyers arrive with their guard down, thinking the hard part's over. James negotiated a great price on paper and gave much of it back in the room behind the sales floor. Travis lost his leverage before the conversation even started by announcing cash, and paid $2,400 more for the same car. Now you know every layer, the pack, the holdback, the four-square sheet, the CPO upsell, and the exact strategy to use it all in your favor. If this opened your eyes to something you didn't know was there, subscribe to Almost Rich. We break down the hidden math behind every financial decision you face.